There are laws that have an impact on so many of us. What to do about drunk drivers, child abusers, and voter IDs. They all took center stage during the first Attorney General debate today. Our Matthew Simon is covering the Attorney General race and has tonight's campaign 2014 coverage.
The candidates know they have a lot going into these debates because polls show the public continues not to know much about who they are.
Susan Happ, the Jefferson County District Attorney, and the Republican, Brad Schimel, the Waukesha County District Attorney.
The first Attorney General debate wasted no time showing differences in what type of top cop the candidates would be.
To the extent that there is a law that directly conflicts and is blatantly unconstitutional, there is an ethical duty not to defend that law.
When you take the oath to defend the Constitution, you don't cross a couple of your fingers and say, except for these ones.
Schimel saying he's on standby, ready to defend voters having to show an ID.
The Supreme Court only said that because of the short time involved, we can't let it go into effect for November 4th. Still, right now, our law is constitutional.
This law creates a fourth requirement, not in our Constitution. It does create real impediments to voters.
On drunk driving, both candidates agreeing to study the 49 other states who make the first DUI offenses a crime.
If there's evidence in the other states that making first offense a crime improves public safety, then we should spend the money on it.
If there was evidence that actually showed that criminalizing first offense drunk driving would actually deter the behavior, then we ought to invest in it. I mean, we're talking about public safety.
But the most heated debate moments, almost 10 of them, focusing on whose record really shows they're tough on child sex crimes.
She's got a big challenge with a case that she hasn't answered the questions on yet.
That case now part of an ethics complaint against Happ. The now 25-year-old woman saying as Jefferson County DA, Happ oversaw her case instead of recusing herself and approved a very light plea deal for the man charged with sexually assaulting her as a child because that man had bought Happ's home for $180,000.
I've had no involvement whatsoever in either the charging of that case, in its resolution, or in anything that happened in between.
Now, Happ says she's never spoken publicly about the case because it's out of respect for the victim's privacy. But in retrospect, she says she may have requested a special prosecutor. Happ calling the whole thing, though, a voter distraction taken out of context, saying she's recused herself from this case, just like many cases before, just like Schimel's recused himself in previous cases. By the way, a lot of topics tonight. This thing went on for an hour. We did not have time for, so we will expand our coverage on channel3000.com. The next debate coming up on the 24th, our Channel 3 debate coming up on the 29th.
Important stuff. Matthew Simon for us tonight. Thank you so much for that.